So welcome everybody, thank you for joining us. Just to remind you, the session will be recorded and it will be available for people to view shortly after we've finished. We're joined today by Martin, who's going to be introducing the London Capital Credit Union, and also by Shannon, who is from Health Assured, to discuss our employee assistance programme that some of you may know as the EAP. And I'm also going to be discussing some other benefits that we have available at Advance for you as well. Okay. Just going to let Martin take over the sharing of the slides. Please do ask any questions whilst we go along. We have the chat function, so pop them into the chat and we'll try and monitor that as we're going through the session. And we'll obviously have questions at the end as well. Okay.
Right. Good morning, everybody. This could go horribly wrong with me and technology, I'm afraid. So we did have a little practice before and it worked then, but there's no... What do they say in financial services? Previous performance may not reflect future performance. Does that look as though it works?
Yes, it's still on the slides on the left-hand side. So if you click on that button above the top.
It's showing a full screen on mine, but let's have another go. What about now?
No.
No. It worked before.
Have you got more than one screen, Martin?
No.
Oh, because if you've got it open on a full screen on yours, it might be that you're sharing the wrong screen.
Ah. No, it's only opening there.
Do you want me to try and share them for you, Martin?
Good.
Would you mind? Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
No promises, but let's try. Bear with me.
The best laid plans of mice and men.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that?
Marvellous. It works for me.
Just give me the nudge when we need to move slides.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for that. So my name is Martin Grooms. I have the very grand title of the Chief Executive Officer of London Capital Credit Union. That said, I also put the recycling out to make sure that we've got enough tea and biscuits in the office. So we're a small business. We've got 22 staff based in London, but we have members right the way across the across the country. And thank you very much for coming for the invitation to come along today, because we've recently launched with Advanced Housing and Support a means of supporting staff through the cost of living crisis in particular, which is very topical at the moment, but generally about ways that the credit union can help by promoting saving and dealing with debt. So if the next slide was an interesting little a little quotation from a US author, not one I would normally quote because he's a bit of a religious fundamentalist, and so it's not necessarily one of the people I would normally quote, but this quote from him is very, very telling, I think, and it's about budgeting, which is really what the credit union's about. A budget is telling you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. We do that all the time, don't we? Most of us at the end of the month, we say, oh my God, where's it all gone? And I think it's a really lovely little quote to that. So then there's so if you can move on to the next slide, really. So just tell you a little bit, what is a credit union? So if anybody has heard of credit unions generally, and some in certain countries they're huge. So in the United States, you wouldn't have to explain what a credit union is. Over half the population have what we call current accounts. They call checking accounts with a credit union. Anybody who's Irish knows a credit union. Anybody from the West Indies knows a credit union. But generally in this country, they're what's often called the country's best kept secret. So they're cooperatives. It's a savings and loans cooperative. So it's a group of people coming together to help each other out on the basis of mutual self-help. So it's not a charity, it's a business, but with very different ethics. And if people have heard of credit unions, and the clue is in the name, I guess, they know that we do loans. So people often describe me as Martin the money lender and run away. But the whole principle about the cooperative, our credit union, is about promoting saving as an alternative to borrowing. We all know there are times when we need to borrow, but if we had saving, and certainly at the moment, over 50% of our members said they never had any savings before they joined the credit union. Between them now, they have over £21 million worth of savings. So at a time like this, where it's coming up to Christmas, cost of living crisis, bills are rising, our members have got that £20 million to go back on to use their savings, whereas normally they would have used a credit card to pay for Christmas or overdrafts to pay for their bills. So promoting savings is the key part of what we're trying to do, because we work on the principle that prevention is better than cure. And so we know a lot of people get into terrible messes with finances, often not of their own making, divorces, redundancies, ill health, etc. So if we can get people to encourage people to save, then people are less likely to get into high levels of indebtedness and the financial problems that come along with that. So one of the ways that we encourage saving is to offer salary savings schemes. So this is available to all staff at Advance now, and savings can come directly from your salary and be split into different accounts. So it's guaranteed by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, exactly the same way as it is with all high street banks and building societies and other financial institutions. So it's guaranteed up to £85,000. So it's not likely to affect most of us here, I'm guessing. So to encourage people to save, and you can just set up that salary savings, sums of money comes out after tax. It will just show on your pay slip as credit union, goes into your savings, and you take it out when you need it. In the meantime, that money is pooled. So we've got that £21 million worth of members' savings. And it might be that somebody in the room has got credit cards, and it's the traditional, my mum used to call it the never, never. You'd borrow money and you'd never pay it off because because something happens, doesn't it? You have your overdraft, your credit card, you start to pay it off a bit, then it's Christmas, so it goes back up again, and then it goes down a little bit, then the boiler packs up, so you borrow some more. So what happens with the credit union is that staff, all members of the public, can borrow from the credit union's savings and pay it back over a period that suits themselves. So whereas a bank will tell you how much you've got to pay, a credit union says, what do you think is affordable? And you can pay that, and you can flex it. So if people are on irregular hours of work or get bonuses at certain times or overtime or night shift payments, then we can flex those payments to suit, because as a cooperative, what suits our members, and our members are the people who save with us. So the idea is that the loan, it pays off the credit card, it's cheaper, and because the applicant is borrowing other members' savings, they also have to, we take a small part of the members' payments. So if they borrowed this much and they're paying off £100 a month, we take £30 and put it in their savings account. So as the loan goes down, the savings goes up. And once the loan is repaid, the savings is freed up and you can use that, and it prevents you having to borrow in future. Over 4 to 5 years, most of our members cease to be borrowers. They just use their savings. And the saver loan principle, that principle that everybody who borrows from us must become a saver, it's almost a trick, I suppose, of getting people to save, because people say they can't afford to save, but they can always afford to borrow, it seems. And the saver loan principle is the key thing, because your savings as you're paying off the loan is then allowing us to build up capital to pay off other people's expensive debts. And that's key to what we do. So a single payment comes from your savings, from your salary or your bank account for that matter, into a credit union account. So if we could look at the next slide, please. So we do lots of different accounts. So for myself, I've got one for birthdays, because in February I have 6 family members all have a birthday in 1 month. So and it all mounts up, doesn't it? 20 quid here, £10 there. So I put a little, each month I put a little bit of money into there. I have a holidays account, I have a Christmas club, and I also have one for bills, which is my service charge on my flat. So a single payment from my salary, it splits into different pots of money. And again, it's about budgeting. So what happens if people have got savings account, they usually raise it in Christmas and then they're back at square one. With the credit union, which is about educating people about thinking about their money. So with lots of different ways to do that. And obviously, if you've got things like household electricals, if you've got some money set aside for that, when your washing machine packs up, you don't put it on a credit card, then that's going to save you money. And then the next slide, a really lovely incentive. I wouldn't even tell you about this, but I'm not allowed to join it. The Prize Saver scheme offers a monthly prize every month of £5,000 top prize. It's a number of credit unions run this. We've never had a month without a winner. There's 20 smaller prizes as well, but the top prize of £5,000. So if you saved £1 a month from your salary, you will get 1 entry this month, then 2 entries, then 3 entries, etc., up to 200. It's savings. So if you need those savings out, you can take it out, but you don't get the less chances of winning. So it's a real incentive to encourage you to save. So we do savings, we do loans, we encourage people to save through the Prize Saver scheme and the budgeting. And if you look at the next slide, please, we also do, it's not just about the thing, but what we're trying to do is about welfare. And certainly the employee support program would be interested in this thing, because obviously a lot of the support that staff face is based around financial stresses, because often that's one of the things. And certainly for employers, you know, loss of staff, we know that staff start to look around for other jobs when they're financially stretched. So the credit union can help with financial planning, help and advice from ourselves. We're not financial advisors because we're selling products. We work with the money advice service and the Money Helper guideline. We have a useful tool about, and particularly the budget planner, because as I say, if you don't plan your budget, you just end up wondering where it's going to go. And then on the next slide, you will see the thing. So this is the summary really, and I'll finish. The cooperative difference, right? Why do we do this? Well, I'd like to think that Martin the moneylender is quite a nice person, would like to help people out. But what the difference is that the board of directors of our bank effectively are ordinary members of the credit union. They're owners of the business. So we're delivering services. If like many other high street lenders, we had early repayment fees, we issued loans and the interest rate varied halfway through the thing, or there was a penalty for early repayment, the people that I as manager will be ripping off would be the members, and the members of the board of directors of our business. So what I always say is that if I were to follow the practice common with other lenders in particular, and savings institutions where they advertise rates that they don't really offer, that it would severely curtail my employment opportunities with the credit union. And why do we do it? So it's about ethical savings, it's about mutuality, it's about helping each other. Most people have financial problems at some point in their life, and at other times they're not got financial problems. And if we can all save together to provide that money, people helping people, working together, we can get people to move away from borrowing and becoming people who are just using savings for that rainy day. So finally, on the next slide, I will give you details about how to join. So it's credit-union.coop, COOP. There's a green button, join now. It's free to join. You can change your mind anytime you want. In the application, you can complete a form at the same time to have money deducted from your salary. If in the application form, right towards the end, it says, were you recommended by anybody? If you join today and you put down advance in that section, we will kickstart your savings account with another £20 once we've received your first payment. So as an encouragement to save, not only will we offer you the chance of a prize saver, but we will put £20 into your savings account once you've started saving, because we all know the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We intend to start saving, but we never quite get round to it. So this is a real encouragement for you. I don't know if we've got time for questions, but that's finished my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Yes, we have got time for any questions. If we have any.
I can have a slurp of tea.
No questions. Okay. The information about the London.
Sorry, can I just stop you? I've put a question in the chat.
No, I can't see that.
Indeed.
Is that Linda?
Yeah.
Indeed, and I wish. Do you know what? In Nigeria, they do allow you to have savings deducted before. They're just called savings co-ops there. But in this country, unfortunately, our lovely Chancellor doesn't allow you to have savings deducted pre-tax. So it is after tax.
No, that's what I thought the answer would be, but I just wanted to check. So
Yeah,
does this just get deducted from your salary? So how does that work? So if you
savings account.
So if you're applying for this, does Advance take the deduction out of your salary? So it shows on your payslip.
Come out your salary, go into a savings account. You can do it through your bank as well, but
yeah.
if you ever need a loan, if it comes through your salary, you get mates rates effectively. So you get much cheaper loans if you ever need one. So there's no need if you ever need it. So there's no requirement. Sometimes some credit unions you have to save for a certain time before you get a loan. Well, you can apply straight away. But if you just want to save, the ethics of it, you know that within the organisation there are people who are using payday loans. So the more people we can have saving a few £100 for Christmas, we don't want people putting in £10,000 because it gets a great rate, because we don't offer great rates. We make sure you get a profit share at the end, which is a dividend on savings, calculated in the same way as interest, but we also pay a rebate on loan interest. So if you've had a loan, which tends to be our lowest income members, you get a share of the profits based on your savings and your loans. So the more people we can have small save, look, we want lots and lots of people with little Christmas clubs or holiday funds, and that allows us to help people escape from that debt trap.
Okay, so what are the interest rates on the savings accounts?
It's not interest, as I say, every £1 share, every £1 of savings is a £1 share. So shares attract dividends. It's a technicality because it's calculated in the same way. So this year we're looking, last year, a couple of years ago, we paid 2% when everybody else was paying nothing, and we got swamped with what's called hot money. So we never guarantee you will get anything. Right. So last year we paid 1% on savings, which of course was quite competitive then, but we paid a 3% dividend back on loan interest paid. So if you're looking at investing several thousands of pounds and you're reliant on income from that investment, this is probably not the right place for you. But if you want to put a bit aside for Christmas or a holiday and a small sum of money, it's probably a great place, and you know it's going to help other work colleagues escape from the debt trap.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's been a couple of questions, but one was just about the interest rate. So thank you for sharing that one, Linda. One of my colleagues has also shared the link on how you can join in the chat as well. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm just going to stop sharing there. So thank you very much, Martin. I think you're going to stay on for the rest of the session and hear what else we have. Yeah, absolutely. So now I'd like to introduce Shannon to talk about the EAP's free and confidential services that are available to all staff at Advance. If you'd like to take over, Shannon.
Amazing. Thank you, Julie. Hello, everybody. So my name is Shannon. I'm the relationship manager here at Health Assured. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen with you. Just to double check, can everybody see that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to run you through a presentation that'll just explain to you what you've got access to as part of your EAP, and of course how to access it as well. So as obviously Julie mentioned, please feel free to ask questions, but if you can save it till the end, because chances are we'll probably answer most of the questions as we go through the presentation. But if there's anything burning, please feel free to put that in the chat and I'll pick it up at the end for you. So I'll just start you off with a little bit of an overview of who Health Assured are. So Health Assured are the UK and Ireland's largest EAP provider. We have UK-based call centres that operate 24/7, 365. We are BACP accredited at organisational level, and that is the British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. And we do currently support around 12 million lives across all sectors. We've then also got a network of over 2,000 counsellors across the UK and 200 IACP counsellors over in Ireland as well. So the Employee Assistance Programme will give you access to a 24/7, 365 confidential telephone helpline alongside live chat and email as well. So you can contact us to just get immediate in the moment support if you just need a little bit of a chat with somebody, a little bit of a rant, for example, maybe you're having a particularly bad day. Our team will be there 24/7 to take those calls. From the helpline, you can also get a referral for up to 6 sessions of face-to-face, telephone or online counselling, and we do also provide online digital CBT. Legal information, including debt and financial information, is also available through the helpline. And we do have a medical information line that's available Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. That is with qualified nurses. They can provide information only, so they can't give you a diagnosis or a prescription, but they can just support with general queries and questions. We do also cover your dependents aged 16 to 24 in full-time education, and we will also cover partners and spouses. You've also got access to an online portal and a mobile app, which I will run you through a little bit later today. We have got a new app which is launching imminently, if not today, hopefully tomorrow, but we'll see. But I will show you just a little bit about the new app as well, just so you can keep an eye out for that coming out very soon. So financial support, just to make you aware, we are not obviously financial advisors, but we can just provide general financial information. So we can signpost to organisations that might be able to help, and of course places like credit unions where they will be able to support. We will be able to provide online resources such as assessments, calculators, just to kind of obviously help people assist in budgeting and calculating for savings and things like that. So all of that is available online, or you can access it over the helpline as well in between the hours of 9 AM and 9 PM. So when you contact the helpline, you will always get through to a member of the Health Assured team. You can get immediate in the moment support. So like I said, if you just need somebody to speak to, that's available 24/7. If you're looking for something in particular, for example, legal support, you will be triaged to the relevant department. And of course, the counselling assessments are also available 24/7. So our counselling team will run through a short telephone assessment with you, and then from there, you'll get a referral for either telephone, face-to-face or online counselling. We do also have our digital CBT, and we offer management support and coaching as well. A little bit of detail for you on some of the online CBT courses we have available. So we do work with SilverCloud. They are the leading provider of digital CBT. You see, they've got a range of different courses. So from things like Space from Resilience, Space from Money Worries. We do also have courses on Space from Diabetes, OCD, phobia. So there's a lot of different topics that can be supported through digital CBT. All of these courses are self-led, but you will get a fortnightly check-in with a counsellor where they will check diary entries and unlock new modules for you if that's needed. We also have our online menopause program, which is called Right Steps. So Right Steps is 5 online web-based modules. It is completely self-led, but it will give people support with handling the emotional effects of the menopause, the symptoms and the side effects, and provide useful coping strategies. And we also have Power to Recover. So Power to Recover, again, is web-based CBT. It's 7 modules, self-led, and it's designed to support anybody who has experienced a traumatic event. So it will work towards getting somebody back into normal life, managing panic attacks, stress, anxiety, and of course, looking for triggers and coping mechanisms. So when you get through to our counselling team, if you are looking for counselling support, we will run through a telephone clinical assessment with you. This has to be done, obviously, to ensure that the counselling is going to be clinically appropriate. So you'll see the team will run through a variety of different areas just to ensure that it is the relevant and most productive outcome for you to go through to counselling. It'll give you the opportunity to speak to the counsellor about what the underlying issue is, and they can then, of course, assess that and refer you through to counselling if that's appropriate. Health Assured can support with a huge range of different topics. So physical health, mental health, anything kind of legal queries. So whether it's a parking ticket or you're moving house and you're just looking for some guidance, we can support with a huge range of issues. We will support with work and home life, so don't think it is just something that you can only contact us about work-related stress or issues. We're here to support with everything. So if there's something going on in your home life and you just need a little bit of extra help with that, that's what we're here for. So please feel free to contact us. The list is not there to be, this is all we can cover. It's not an exhaustive list. So if there's anything outside of that list that you might need some help with, by all means, please contact the helpline. And if we can't support, we'll be able to signpost you to an organisation that can. As I mentioned, accessing the service, you do have the 24/7 365 helpline. It's completely confidential. There's no answering machines. We don't use any kind of automated responses. It will always be a member of the Health Assured team that you get through to. We have live chat and video calls that are available through the app. And again, it's not AI or robots. It's always a member of the team. You can, of course, email us as well. So the email address is always available through the app. We have interpretation and translation services available in over 240 languages. So should you prefer to speak to us in an alternative language, if you just make the counsellor aware when you get through to them on the helpline, they will be able to dial in language line and there will be then a 3-way conversation in your preferred language. We do, of course, work with Relay. So for those who don't know, Relay is the service that supports those who are deaf, hard of hearing or speech impaired. Wisdom AI is available on the online portal. So Wisdom AI is an early intervention tool where you can get immediate answers from our counselling team to your questions. So they have designed this platform based on all the frequently asked questions they get through the helpline. All of the answers are already generated, and once you type in your question, it will pick up the keywords and provide you with the relevant answers. So this is available on the portal and will shortly be on the app in the next few weeks. Once it's on there, you'll find it in the Contact Us page, and it will just give you the option to get those answers without having to pick up the phone or necessarily speak to somebody if you're not quite ready to do that. The Wisdom app is set to launch, hopefully very, very soon. Currently, we have an app called My Healthy Advantage, which hopefully some of you have heard of. It will shortly be changing to Wisdom, but for those of you who have My Healthy Advantage, you will get a notification to make you aware when it's ready. But on the app, you will find there's loads of different tools that you can utilise. We have different kind of health trackers where you can track your sleep, water intake, steps and activity. We've got an interactive mood tracker that's available every week for you to monitor your financial, physical and mental well-being. We've got mini health checks and 4-week plans. And of course, you can completely personalise the app. So you can choose the categories that you're interested in and you'll be able to see those categories. They will come up first on the app for you. As I mentioned, you can contact us through the app. So live chat and video call are also available. And you will find perks and discounts available on the app also. So we've got a bit of a video here for you. I'm not sure if the sound's going to work because it very, very rarely does for me, unfortunately. Apologies, did the sound actually work on that video then?
No, it didn't.
No, amazing. This always happens to me. So basically, that was an overview of what the new app will look like. So there's going to be loads of new features on there. You'll have access to our Peace of Mind podcast. So you can see I've got the list of the different releases for the Peace of Mind podcast on the screen at the moment. So this is a podcast that is run by our head of clinical support, Kaylee Frost. So Kaylee and a member of the counselling team will run through a different topic. They'll just kind of talk through helpful hints and tips, different kind of points that might have been raised relating to these topics. November's is relating to men's mental health, in line with International Men's Day on the 19th of November. So you will find that the podcast will be released onto the app for you to be able to download and view. We do also have a Spotify page, so you can listen to playlists that we release. And again, there will be a new one every month for you. And Mental Health Hour is on our Instagram page. So every month on the last Thursday of the month, a member of our legal or counselling team will answer questions that have been submitted related to the topic. So November's will be self-esteem. So please feel free to submit the questions through the Instagram page and the team will answer those questions and they will be published onto our Instagram page as well. Apologies about the sound not working on the video. The video is much better when you've got the sound because it actually explains what it's showing you. But I will share the video with you, Julie, so that you can perhaps share that as well, because it's not quite the same without the sound. So I do apologise that that didn't work. But that was everything from me today. So QR codes are on the screen just to have a look at Mental Health Hour, Peace of Mind podcast or Spotify. To download the app, if you head over to the App Store or Google Play, it's currently My Healthy Advantage, but very shortly it will be Wisdom. So keep your eyes peeled for Wisdom being launched in the next couple of days. And of course, if there's any questions, happy to answer those for you now.
Thanks, Shannon. Does anyone have any questions for Shannon on this presentation? So there's lots of information that you've just shared with us.
Sorry, was that information overload?
There was a lot in a short space of time, but it was, yeah, there were certain elements I didn't know that the EAP offered, so it was really useful as well.
Yeah, by all means, obviously, if people do have questions afterwards, Julie, I don't know if you've got somewhere that people can submit questions to you internally, and then you could pop them over to me if there are any questions.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I know it's always hard to think of questions on the spot, so if you do think of anything afterwards, obviously we will still be available. And if not, you can call the helpline, and they will still be able to answer questions.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
So as some of you will know, we have had the EAP programme for quite some time at Advance. We do recognise the value to the service. It is used, there is an uptake most definitely across the organisation, but I just wanted to reiterate that that uptake, that information is confidential. All we hear in HR is the usage data to help us to continually assess the effectiveness of the products that are being provided to you. So please be reassured by that. We also appreciate it can be really challenging for you to make that first call if you do want to reach out and get some support. So there are the alternative routes that Shannon's mentioned. Obviously, the new app hopefully launching in the next couple of days. The existing app is still available. But also speak to your manager. If you feel able to talk to your line manager, maybe they can then support you to make that initial call if you're just having that little bit of challenge to overcome that. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. So finally, I'm now going to take over and I'm just going to share a couple of other benefits within Advance. So I'm just going to share my screen again and hope this works. Okay, so we pick up from here. So the benefits I'm going to briefly talk about are the perks at work, the Cycle to Work scheme, Golden Hellos and Long Service Awards. I'm hoping some of you will know about these, and if not, it's a great way for you to take them, talk to your teams about them, talk to your colleagues. Okay. So perks at work, can I just have a quick hands up to how many of you already do use perks at work, or if you know about it? Yes, there's a couple of people there. That's great. Excellent. How it works is all staff are automatically invited to sign up for Perks at Work when you join us, and notifications will be sent through to your work email address from Perks at Work, usually within any time after 3 months of joining us. But do feel free to drop your name into the chat if you haven't received the invitation, and I can invite you to this, and you'll then receive the sign-up email. On Perks at Work, you've got over 30,000 merchants where you can save money on travel, groceries, cinema tickets, lots more. Cinema tickets is a huge uptake. We save over 50% on a cinema ticket, which, you know, in this day and age, it's nice to still be able to go out, but actually this just makes that visit a little bit more affordable. Groceries.
Sorry, Julie, you're not sharing your screen with the correct slide.
What am I sharing with?
The first page of your PowerPoint.
Bear with me. How's that?
Mine still hasn't changed. Anyone else has changed?
Let me stop and start again. Thank you, Evie.
Okay.
Oh, best laid plans. I managed Martin's presentation, but fail on my own.
You were still
Thanks,
on
Julia.
Martin's. You were still on Martin's, Julie.
Let's see what this brings up. Okay, can you see the benefits with the 4 listed underneath now? Excellent.
Yeah.
So we'll move over to the Perks at Work. Yeah, all got that? Thank you, Evie. So what I was explaining is groceries is where I was just about to start. There's some mainstream supermarkets where if you regularly shop in those supermarkets, you can upload money onto a shopping card where you actually save 5% discount, 10% discount, and you then pay for the goods on the shopping card that you've preloaded with your spending. So it can be worthwhile to come into Perks at Work, have a look around and benefit from some of the discounts. When you do spend or purchase items through Perks at Work, you're going to earn WOW points. So the WOW points then become a spending scheme that you can then use to offset the purchase on discounts within the Perks at Work website. I would definitely say take a look, have a look around and see if there's anything there that interests you. You can also invite up to 5 family members or friends so they can join the scheme as well at no additional cost to anybody. It is a free service to everybody that works here and obviously those that you'd invite. So please do take some time to have a look at that website link. Okay. Just going to move to the Cycle to Work scheme. I think some of you on this call have actually benefited from the Cycle to Work scheme, and it's great if it's a way of wanting to get healthy, but also be able to get to work in a green way. But obviously there's always criteria to be accepted into this scheme. The main caveats are that you must have a permanent contract in place and you must have passed your probation period. And once the pay deductions will be taken out of your pay each month, we have to make sure that you're still earning above the national living wage. And if not, you wouldn't be able to join at that time. So it should be beneficial to most staff. If you're interested in the Cycle to Work scheme, please do visit the website. The link there has the advance code. It's a unique code that then takes you into, it links somehow that it knows that we are behind this. And the link can also be found in the FAQ section on Select HR. So anytime you're looking for where did I find this, go to the benefits FAQs and you can click into the links there with all the other benefits as well. Okay. So golden hellos, or refer a friend, as you may have heard, or refer to it yourself. It is a known fact that in recruitment, people that are introduced to an organisation by an existing colleague will usually stay with that organisation for longer. It's something that I don't feel we promote enough in Advance, because we know the type of people we want to work for us, and bringing that kind of person in would be absolutely brilliant. Okay. It's as simple as it says. We will pay up to £500 per person for people that you successfully nominate to start, which is yeah, nice in your pay packet. It will clearly be taxed. There is a criteria. There is an appendix that will provide all that information for you on the policy of the recruitment. It's the Recruitment Advertising Employee Referral Scheme policy that you can find on the policy section of the intranet. Okay. So length of service award. We are proud to celebrate our colleagues that do reach milestones with us. We like people staying. It shows that we're doing something right. Colleagues are all eligible for awards after 5 years service and then every 5-year interval after that. It's a monetary award that you receive, and the pay ranges from £25 for 5 years service up to £250 for 25 years. It should be an automatic process. We run reports, we inform payroll of the requirement that you've reached this milestone. So if you know of people that haven't received the reward, again, get in touch with HR, just let us know, and we'll look into the detail to check if we've missed something. Okay, any questions on any of this? It was a whistle-stop tour. I've got Paul and Graham, you still have your hands up, but I'm not sure if that was from the earlier question. No? Okay. I'd just like to say thank you very much for attending the colleague benefits session. Hopefully you found it useful. I know some of you joined partway through the session. Okay. I lost my way. We are recording the session, so it will be available for you all afterwards, and then you'll be able to listen to me just stumble over my words again. But I'd like to thank Martin and Shannon for attending again. Really useful presentations. Thank you. And thank you, everybody.
Hi, Julie. I just want to ask Martin, because I tried while listening to these things, I tried to join the credit union on my phone.
Okay.
But it doesn't ask me. It just asks me for direct debit setup. So I just want to know what information do I have to put in for them for Advance, for them to take out the salary, the savings from Advance from my salary.
You're on mute, Martin.
I'm going to change my name to Martin. You're on mute, I think. It's been the last 3 years like that. So when you fill the membership application form, there's a drop-down menu which asks for the name of your employer.
I did put that, yeah.
If you select advance, when you've completed the membership form, it will come up with a salary deduction mandate.
Oh.
So there's a form there, but if not, submit it and we'll send it afterwards if you've somehow managed to skip it. But if you select one of our employer partners, the next thing it will ask you to complete a form which is called salary savings mandate.
Okay, I will go back and see that, yeah.
If all else fails, so as long as you've submitted it, we will send you details how to set it up anyway, yeah?
Okay, thank you so much.
Maria, you have your hand up.
Oh yes, Julie. Just a question in behalf of staffs regarding rewards, because obviously we do have already existing rewards during Christmas meals and all that, bonuses and that. The concern was since it is paid in their as part of their payroll salary, it's being taxed. And most of my staff are also under benefits because of their incomes. So there are times when, yes, we have given them rewards, cash rewards included in their pay. And unfortunately, it does affect their benefit claims. So they were wondering if those kind of small amount of rewards, is it possible to be like in voucher forms or things like that, that's how they feel that they would benefit it most, other than including it in as a normal pay.
Yes, we've definitely had that question raised on several occasions previously. Obviously, we're bound by the terms of HMRC and PAYE of how if we're giving a bonus, there is a tax element. I know for the long service awards, the questions do get sent out to the individuals to see if they want to receive the reward through their pay. But it's quite a challenging one as to how can we give an award and not actually do it legally. But I know it's taken into account by the finance team each time.
Yeah, but just like as an example, staff has received last year. I know bonuses needs to be on payslips and all that, but I believe one of the staff has received the reward. But it turned out it costed her more when taxes other than receiving the reward itself. So basically it turned out she has received nothing at all because it's just a small amount, and including with the Christmas bonus and all that. So she has lost money and also as well of benefits. So yeah, that was the staff dilemma really. So yeah.
And at that, anytime that does happen, obviously speak to the payroll team because they will be able to explain the reasons why, and obviously if there are any alternatives that can take place or not. But yeah, we are obviously governed by guidelines.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. No,
Thank you,
I'll just
Maria.
let them know. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. Any more questions from anybody before we close? No, I think everyone's just rushing away to sign up for the Capital Credit Union to get that extra £20.
Yeah, we've just spotted I've just spotted the thing that actually it's such a new scheme. We've not added you to the list apparently in the form. So if you are doing that, if you click other, and then it was at the bottom of the form when the drop down menu for employers, and then you can just put advance in there, and you'll make sure you get.
That's what I did.
Yeah, but I'll get that fixed before the day's out. Well spotted.
Thank you, Martin. That's great. Well, we'll close the session then. Thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully it was useful, and we'll obviously share the resources when they're completed.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.